Tune in now, leave reality behind. The Mix Fix. Groove and doom collide. Get your fix. Ride the cosmic tide. No mercy, no light, only raw might. Prepare your soul for an endless night. Stoner riff pound, rhythm takes hold. Welcome to the abyss, let the tale unfold. I have decided what I am. Everybody wants to know everybody's label. What box do you fit in? I've decided what box I fit in. I'm a supervillain with a shit ton of restraint. I came into this world to be a villain. Saw the motherfuckers fucking it up and said, God damn. Y'all even make the devil cringe. Y'all be fucking up so bad. I mean, shit. If Hitler popped up today, he'd be like, okay, y'all going way too fucking far. I know I did some shit, but y'all are trying to take out the whole fucking planet. I was just fucking with Europe. You can be like, look at this orange motherfucker. Just because he's not putting people in boxcars yet, that don't mean shit. You're gonna be like, look, this motherfucker done gone farther than me at that same point in my career. You're gonna be like, you don't see where this is going? Go back and read what was happening in Germany in 1933 and look at America today and tell me he ain't already a year past me. The boxcars are coming, y'all. Actually, the boxcars are already here. They're in the form of planes heading to fucking El Salvador. God damn. Y'all are some fucked up, trashy motherfuckers. Already, this is a cold watch, but I already know what they're going to be saying. I do. I already know what they're going to be saying. These motherfuckers are going to be doing, like, what they're essentially going to be saying. And I swear to fucking God. Swear to fucking God. I can already predict it. It's going to go one of two ways. They're either going to be saying, well, now it's going to go one of three ways. They're going to be like, well, I don't think he's that bad, as people say, because they're fucking stupid. Or they're going to say, you know, they're going to be like, he's not as bad. It's the woke media always painting him in a wrong light. I mean, what he really meant to say was, or they're gonna. So it's either gonna be I didn't think he I don't think he's really as bad as they make him out to be as the fake news media, or they're gonna say no. I guess it'll be one of two ways. Yeah, it'll either be that, or they're gonna have that abuser mentality where they're gonna say no, I voted for him because of the way he acts. I voted for him because he's an abusive shithead. I voted for him because I like to hurt people for no reason too. Because there's no good reason to vote for Trump. I mean, anyone who tries to, well, I voted for him for the cheap gas. No, that person is fucking lying. It's like they're not even dumb because they didn't believe that. They didn't think that for a second. It's just he said it out loud one time. So they repeat it because they don't want to admit the real reason they voted for him. And the real reason they voted for him is because he's an abuser and they're abusers too. He hurts people. They like to hurt people. They see themselves in him. Every person we're about to see in this video needs to be investigated for DV.
What about Trump appealed to you?
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, part of it is he's an asshole. I like authenticity.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So perhaps it doesn't matter. The object of this assholery doesn't matter at all. You just like the.
You're just an abuser. You're just an abuser. That's what it is.
Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to give the video a like, and that includes y'all watching on the television. This is Who Raised Y'all, and I'm Reese Waters. This is where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Need a new mattress? During the Memorial Day sale at People's Furniture, save up to $800 on select Stearns.
He made a plea to me, Van Jones. Total sleazebag.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now, I, for one, would like to address all of you guys in my comments and in my mentions, sending me emails, which you can do at admin@reesewaters.com, asking me, did you see what happened with Van Jones? Did you see the Van Jones segment? Yes, I saw the Van Jones segment.
Van, what are your thoughts? It's well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters.
Oh, that wasn't it? That wasn't what y'all were referring to? Well, I got more in the trunk.
Even people who are pushing for this to happen, it's kind of like when your grandpa, you got to take the keys, and everybody, you got to take his keys, you got to take his keys, you got to, and he's fighting, and everybody's so frustrated, and then you finally get the keys back, and then you just cry, because this is somebody that you love, this is somebody that you care about, this is somebody who was there for you, this is somebody you wouldn't be here without him, and you had to take something from him.
That still wasn't it? I could have sworn when you said you see the Van Jones, he was crying at work again. I could have sworn that. But I would like to address this one because I never got a chance to. I need to know what's going on down there at Shady Pines that you got to take Grandpa's keys. You know what I mean? Is it that lit over at the home? Because if the shuffleboard is that lit over at the home that you got to take Grandpa's keys, I'm checking in early. I can tell you that right now. And a quick PSA to anybody who's watching. Never take Grandpa's keys. Never take Grandpa's keys. That man done been through the war. He done been through original segregation and yes, in 2025, now we got to call it original segregation. He's been through some things. You do not take grandpa's keys. You hide grandpa's keys. That is a easy, non-confrontational way to make sure that grandpa gets home safe. And he not going to be the wiser. He ain't been able to find his keys since his 20s.
How the hell did Donald Trump figure out the mainstream media is the fringe and the fringe is now the mainstream? How the hell did Donald Trump figure out? I mean, Joe Rogan is obvious, right? Like, we knew the guy had a big audience. It's not like we were like stunned, but like, how the hell was he, the 78-year-old guy who doesn't even have a computer and still like writes handwritten notes? How did he become the guy who cracked the code on, to your point, running a cultural, I don't even want to say campaign, running
it was a movement. Look,
heading a cultural movement versus a campaign.
Every one of your people knows Elon. Listen. Yeah. So everybody keeps. I mean, the problem is you have a framework in your mind that how can Donald Trump? Guys, can we cut it out? Donald Trump is not an idiot. Donald Trump. Let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and all.
No, he's
critics.
not.
You know why we know? Because he has the White House, the Senate, the House.
Totally agree.
Court, the popular vote. He has a massive.
No. That doesn't make him smarter. See, once again, that's the grooming of America. You get groomed to equate money and power with intelligence. And that just simply is not the fucking case. He bullied his way into all this shit with the help of a bunch of other bullies. Millions of bullies. The only thing he was smart enough to do was to incite the dumbest, most feral voters in the country and give them control over the Republican Party.
Massive media ecosystem bigger than the mainstream built around him and for him, and a religious fervor in a political movement around him. And his best buddy is the richest person in the history of the world, and the most relevant Kennedy is with him. This dude is a phenomenon. He is the most powerful human on earth and in our lifetime, and we're still saying, well, how was this guy? We look like idiots to ordinary.
You're totally right.
And naturally, a man who protects his ego as aggressively as Donald Trump does would receive that quite nicely. You know what I mean? You got to think that kind of shameless promotion would be acknowledged, would it not?
I saw a guy named Van Jones. He's I don't think anybody knows who he is. He's a commentator for CNN. And he came to see me in the White House, and he was crying.
I remember that.
He was crying. And he made a plea to me, Van Jones, total sleazebag.
I mean, really, this the man you calling smarter than all of us?
And of course, you have the Declaration of Independence.
What does it mean to you?
Well, it means exactly what it says. It's a declaration. It's a declaration of unity and love and respect, and it means a lot, and it's something very special to our country.
Yes, exactly. And I'm pretty sure that's the write-up that the Declaration of Independence has in the Trump Bibles. I'm pretty sure it says Declaration of Independence, and it just has a transcript of everything that he just said right there.
The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
That is the level of education that we're pushing all across America. And quite frankly,
talking to Trump supporters dating back to
down with some black Trump supporters. And my goodness.
CNN's Van Jones has been talking to Trump supporters dating back to 2016. He is, as you know, a Democrat who is a former senior advisor to President Obama. For tonight's report, he met with a small group of black voters, a man and a woman from South Carolina and another woman from North Carolina, all of whom voted for President Trump. CNN's exit polling shows Mr. Trump got 8% of the black vote in 2016, and that grew slightly into the teens over the next 2 elections.
Now, keep in mind, as we do need to keep in mind with all of these conversations, all of these talking points and all these thought pieces that we heard prior to the election, we are talking about 8% growing to 13. Go ahead.
Here's Van's report from Greenville, South Carolina.
When your dog's guilty of being picky, serve Ollie. Human-grade meals so irresistible, even the fussiest pups love.
You do well.
And here we are in South Carolina with 3 Trump voters. You weren't always a Republican.
No. Actually, I come from a family that was like super Democratic. My first time voting, I voted Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden.
So let me get this straight. You voted for Joe Biden, so that would be in 2020. So that would mean that Donald Trump's actions and behavior from 2020 to 2024 was the reason for you to change your vote. Literally, you got in at the disqualifying part of the Trump experience, right? The part that we reflect on when we say, I can't believe those people still voted for him after X, Y, and Z. He came during X, Y, and Z.
What about Trump appealed to you?
Everything he said.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, part of it is he's an asshole.
Abuser. Investigate that motherfucker for domestic violence.
Like authenticity.
Okay. So perhaps it doesn't matter. The object of this assholery doesn't matter at all. You just like the. Now, we saw sentiment like this with the Latino family immediately after the election, where the son said that he likes that Trump just speaks his mind, despite the fact that he was talking to you. So perhaps it doesn't matter the object of this assholery, just that it exists. Got it.
It's
You
abuser
voted for
mentality.
Obama then you voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. But 2020, you voted for Donald Trump. What made the change?
I
Just to be
began
an
listening
asshole.
to someone. Her name is Candace Owens.
Eject!
Oh, my
Eject!
fucking
No,
God.
pack it up. Pack it up. If I was production, I'd go ahead and pack my stuff up. But since you mentioned that you've been listening to someone, her name is Candace Owens,
Good God,
have you listened to
Candace.
her lately?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you still listening to Candace Owens?
Yeah, because
That's
she's
what I
against
wanna
Trump
know.
now.
I never thought that I would see a day where I would be rooting for a university above Donald J. Trump and his administration. But I don't recognize his administration right now. I don't recognize what's happening. I have a theory. I do. We were kicking around some theories earlier, me and the team, and we were going, how could Trump be such a free speech enthusiast and allowing these things to happen? Going after college universities, trying to suppress speech, while pretending that you're not suppressing speech, while pretending that you're fighting DEI. It's so messy. It's so obvious. Everyone knows what you're doing. People who are still trying to grift, I suppose, are not willing to challenge you on this, which is ridiculous, because when you are out of office, we are going to have to live with these consequences. Our children are going to have to grow up in this America, okay? So when you threaten our speech, it's not worth it so that we can have pom-poms and go hurrah for a couple of years, then go, okay, well, yeah, now it kind of stinks because, we're getting arrested for wrongthink. We got David Friedman. Yeah, arrest him. Arrest Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Get them. I love it. And if you think it's going to stop with college campuses, you're out of your mind. So you better buck up and root for Harvard University in this fight.
And I read her book, and it just opened my eyes to maybe he's not this
What the
person that
fuck?
I have been led to believe that
Or maybe you've got like a 12 IQ.
he was.
And what you are seeing right here is exactly why so many of us respond to this heel turn that Candace Owens has shown with regards to Trump and the MAGA movement in the way in which we do. She has done, quite frankly, far too much. But in the same ways in which I always lament, how is it that people really spend their time on X all day trying to defend Elon Musk when he wouldn't even throw their resume in the recycling bin. He would put it directly in the garbage, make sure that nobody ever sees it again and it's never used again in our proper society. The way in which people do that, I have to look at Black Candace Owens listeners who apparently have had their mind changed, irregardless of the fact that she wouldn't even let y'all serve drinks at her baby shower.
So you voted against Trump in 2016.
Yes.
But then in 2020 you voted for him?
Absolutely.
Why?
I saw how things were going during his first term, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was pleased with what was happening. I saw the economy getting better. I saw country relations in certain countries getting better.
That dumb bitch just gonna lie. Every single fucking word that she has said other than I was watching is a fucking lie. If she was watching something, she was watching that rich man's asshole. Trying to stick her nose. What a fucking oh my God. So Van just picked 3 of the dumbest motherfuckers in South Carolina he could find.
As I've been warning for months, America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us.
So you saw what was going on in his first term and you were pleased with what was happening.
She saw the opposite of what was happening. She's just lying. She's just making shit up. She's just repeating shit that she heard at the rallies. Nothing she said is fucking true or even close to true.
Now, when the election came about in 2020, we were dead in the midst of COVID that he had mismanaged, leading to untold deaths, disproportionately poor and Black. And that was what you were pleasantly, you wanted to make sure that we landed the plane with him on COVID. Is that was it?
What are some things that he's doing that you do like?
For me, I like the border. I just don't like the idea of someone coming here illegally and getting benefits that can serve my community. So that's the reason why I support him on that border policy.
And that is a fair assessment.
No, it's not.
Until you get to the point of that can serve my community. Where you know what I mean? Where that can serve my community. How about that can serve my community part? And what community is that exactly?
Yeah.
It's certainly not the Black community, because that would be DEI now, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it would. That would be DEI.
Fucking morons. There's no such thing as a smart Trump voter.
Number, which is also represented by this freshness number in the food's description, is risky to eat and may cause food poisoning, although you can get away with some foods, especially the smaller ones, if you don't eat too much and they're not too spoiled. But generally speaking, why risk it, as food poisoning gradually decreases your health and reduces your strength, agility, and vitality. Digestive potions, which can be bought or brewed, are a great quick cure here, or you can wait it out or pass time, but be careful, as you're losing HP and the passage of time could lead to your death, which would be the ultimate mistake. I'm also going to add here that holding on to a ton of rotten food is kind of a waste of space and weight, although you should note that your dog Mutt is not too picky. You'll be just fine eating rotten meat, but I didn't tell you that. Number 2 also deals with eating, but this time it's overeating. When Henry gets hungry, be sure to not overeat, or you'll be afflicted with the overeaten condition, which reduces your max stamina. And the more that you overeat, the larger the stamina reduction will be. Keeping things simple here, when your Henry gets hungry, just eat one food item at a time until the hunger icon disappears. Do not spam eat. If you want to get more technical, look at your nourishment level indicated right here in the bottom right. Each food item has a nourishment number, and if you let this nourishment level go over 100, this will cause the debuff. Not a big deal if you go a little bit over, but the more that you go over, the worse your max stamina becomes, and the longer it takes to get rid of the debuff. To get rid of this condition, you can pass time or wait it out, or drink a digestive potion for a quick cure. Number 3. Treating KCD2 like other RPGs when it comes to jumping off cliffs and ledges. In KCD2, before you jump off any ledge, it's best to think about your own knees first. Some of you guys are old as shit. And if you think that leap or fall might hurt you IRL, best to not try it with Henry, otherwise you can take a hit to your HP and even receive leg injury debuffs. Injuries require you to sleep, visit bathhouses, or the use of healing potions to cure them. There are some perks in the game that can make your Henry better at cliff jumping, so to say, but for the most part, be careful. Number 4 is not having bandages on you at all times. You may not find yourself bleeding that often, but if a situation arises where you are bleeding, which is indicated by the blood droplet icon, the only way to heal a bleeding wound is by using bandages. If you're way out away from town, or maybe you just don't know where to find or buy a bandage near the location that you're in while you're bleeding, a bleed can lead to your death as it slowly ticks away at your life. Number 5, not using your horse to help you carry things. Encumbrance in KCD2 is more strict than it is in many other games, but many players tend to forget or not realize that one of the biggest benefits to having a horse is that horses by default, even with nothing equipped on them, offer a ton of storage space, so you pretty much never need to be encumbered. If you're farming for resources or looting bandits, etc., and picking up things that you don't need immediately on your character, start developing that habit of moving these items to your horse by hitting the Move to Horse button when an item is selected in your inventory. Just don't forget that you have these items on your horse, as when you get back to a town, you need to transfer them back to your inventory to sell or use them. That's my biggest mistake. Number 6, not realizing how much of an item that you're actually picking up or even holding. This is a very common mistake when it comes to picking up meat from animals, but this can apply to many different situations. When you harvest an animal, many of the animals in this game will offer you a ton of meat to pick up, and many of you will likely just pick it all up without realizing how much you really just picked up, as this is not something you typically have to worry about in many other games. If I kill this cow right here, sorry cow, and by habit just transfer all of the resources to my inventory, I would be transferring this much beef into my inventory, plus all of this other stuff, and now I'm encumbered. Unless I'm specifically farming meat, most of the time you don't need any at all, or maybe just a few to go cook. Also be sure to skim your inventory every once in a while to check the number column. Any items with an unusually high number, make sure that they're items that you actually need in quantity. Number 7, over-attacking in combat. One system that makes KCD2 unique from many other games is that your stamina levels actually play a part in how much damage you take when you get hit. The lower your stamina is, the more HP you will lose. In KCD2, it's perfectly acceptable and even advised to back off a bit when your stamina gets really low and let it regenerate a little bit, or stay up in an enemy's face but focus more on doing perfect blocks versus being more offensive. When you get that stamina back, feel free to go at it again. Just be conscious of this, and keep in mind that the more that your Henry trains, the higher your vitality level will go, which will make this stamina management a bit easier. Number 8, recklessly fighting multiple opponents.
There you go.
If you're not an experienced KCD player, be very careful taking on multiple opponents at a single time. And if you do find yourself in this situation, don't make the mistake of getting up in all of their faces at the same time. It's best to back up and maneuver around in the environment to try to force them to line up a bit in front of you, so you're only taking on one at a time. If you keep backing up and moving around, you can get them to temporarily line up on their own, but also don't forget the environment offers plenty of ways to create choke points. Number 9, skipping or missing Tomcat, and other trainers actually too. Right when you get out of the pillory in Troskovitz, it's possible to miss picking up a very important quest called Combat Training, as not everyone will talk to Bara the Beggar right here. Missing this quest is the last thing you want to do though as a new KCD player, as this quest will send you out to a nomad camp to train in melee combat. This is where you'll be able to learn new techniques and combos for the various different melee weapon types, but perhaps even more importantly, this is where you can just train and train and train, allowing your Henry's combat related stats and skills to level up, making you more powerful and giving you access to new powerful combat-related perks. If you didn't get this quest for whatever reason, you can still go train with Tomcat, you just won't have the map marker telling you where he is. Almost every time I see a player quit KCD in general, it's usually because they didn't train in combat early on. Number 10. forgetting about perk points. I've definitely been guilty of this myself, but it's pretty easy to not notice that you have a bunch of perk points waiting for you to invest into your stats and skills, and then to carry on in the game for hours at a time in a less powerful state than you can. Number 11, not realizing that save and quit exists. When you're done with your session, you actually don't have to use a save your schnapp to save the game. The game offers a save and quit option, allowing you to load back in where you left off. Do keep in mind though that you can only have one save and quit load point at a time, and this load point is represented by the red save icon. So every time that you save and quit, that specific red icon load point is overwritten with the new save and quit. If you do want a permanent save point to load back into for whatever reason in the future though, yeah, use a save your schnapp. But most of the time, save and quit should be perfectly fine and save you some resources. Number 12, thinking that sleeping in any bed will save the game. It doesn't. Only beds that you own or are paying for will give you the sleep and save option. All beds, however, will help re-energize your Henry if you sleep in them when he starts to get tired. Just be careful, as sleeping in some beds that you don't own can get you in trouble if you're caught. Number 13. Equipping weapons and armor that you stole right away in front of the person or faction that you stole from. If you take a guard's armor, for example, even if they don't see you stealing it, if you put on the outer layer of armor or clothing and then go strutting around in front of the guards, they will know that what you're wearing is their armor and they will confront you. Best to put it on away from town. After I think 3 days in game, the stolen icon. Number 14. Forgetting to repair your armor and weapon. Number 15. Sneaking around in noisy chainmail in bright colors. If you're really trying to stealth around and sneak into places without being caught, it's best to have a stealth outfit to switch to that has gear that has low noise and visibility levels, or at the very least just temporarily unequip your super noisy chainmail in plate armor and or super bright colored clothing such as wearing a yellow cap. This will make it much less likely that you'll be caught in your stealth operations. Just be careful, as if you do get caught, you might initially be fighting with less tanky. Number 16. Not cleaning yourself or washing your clothes, unless you're doing a stinky. Number 17, using the wrong arrows or bolts. If you're facing up against heavily armored opponents and you have options with your arrows or bolts, don't use hunting arrows or hunting bolts. These types of arrows and bolts will make it harder for you to deal significant damage on armored opponents, as they're not designed for piercing armor. If you have piercing arrows or even long-ranged arrows, for example, these will be much more effective in these types of situations. And vice versa, when you're hunting, don't waste your combat-effective arrows, as hunting arrows are designed for hunting and are also more cost-effective. Number 18. Not paying attention to icons that may pop up in the top right of your screen during dialogue. You may gain several things by talking to NPCs in general, but if you don't notice the icons that pop up during dialogue in the top right, you may not realize what exactly you received. For example, when talking to a POI tipster or a quest tipster, these NPCs tend to reveal locations on your map, and during your conversations with them is when you unlock that particular map icon. So when you go to look at your map, you know what icon you're actually looking for and you're not as confused. Number 19, selling items when the merchant doesn't have enough to give you the full value. This is a case. Number 20, the ever so common player that forgets to save when out doing open world activities. So autosaves in this game do occur on quests and maybe even in some other situations, but regardless, they don't occur often, if at all, when you're out doing open world activities such as hunting, exploring, or doing alchemy. If you're gathering herbs and making potions, for example, don't forget to save every so often with save your schnapps or go to bed in a bed that you own. So if something happens, you don't lose all that progress. You can also use the save and quit option here and just restart the game. Number 21, buying and selling items in separate transactions, as you just waste time. In KCD2, you don't need to enter into a new transaction when you want to go from buying to selling items or vice versa. Simply click the items that you want to buy, then go to the sell tab and click on all the items that you want to sell, and the game will do the math for you as well. Number 22, comparing your armor to the wrong armor. Very, very common mistake. In KCD2, you have 3 different outfit presets. Make sure you have the right outfit equipped and on when comparing gear related to that specific outfit. For example, if you're looking to buy some stealth shoes, when looking at the stealth shoes stats, maybe you're looking for the noise and visibility levels, don't have your full combat outfit on, otherwise you'll be comparing your stealth shoes to your currently equipped armored boots, which can lead to a mistake purchase or a mistake gear switch. Number 23, and this is a stupid mistake from stupidity, but I am guilty of it, which is why it's in this video. So I used the option to send Mutt home, as I didn't want him with me for this one particular mission. A few hours later, I forgot that I did this, and I thought that he left me, and I was just running around for hours hoping that he would randomly show up like he does sometimes, but he never showed up. I thought he was gone at one point. When you use the command to send Mutt home, it will tell you where his home is, and he will be waiting for you there. Number 24, and this one will make an appearance in my Did You Know video, but I wanted to throw it in here as well. Not that arrows or bolts are hard to find or buy really in this game, but if you don't want to waste them, don't use them on birds' nests. In KCD2, when you crouch, you can throw unlimited pebbles or stones, and if you line this crouch upright, you can actually hit birds' nests with these stones, saving your arrows or bolts. Nests that are super high, though, might be worth the arrow, as it can be difficult trying to line up the stone throw, but nests that are low or medium height, you should be able to get them down with your unlimited resource of crouch stones. And number 25, although I will have a bonus one, and this is thinking that you can be a frontline ranged combatant. Well, maybe some of you can pull it off, but 90% of players ain't going to be able to do this. Ranged weapons are meant for ranged, and if you get up in somebody's face with a ranged weapon, you are going to feel how much of a disadvantage you're truly at. So if you want to play ranged, stay ranged, and if there's a guy that's running at you, make sure you get that headshot, or you better switch your weapon and give yourself plenty of time to switch, or you can end up in a really crappy situation. Sneaking in a number 26 here, and I'll still have the bonus, and this is selling the wrong items to the wrong vendors. So for example, if you have a sword, don't sell the sword to the trader in Troskowitz. Go to Takov a little bit to the north and sell the sword to the blacksmith, as you'll get a lot more groschen from the blacksmith because he works with swords. And the bonus one, I left for last because I'm still a little bit confused and I could have something wrong here, but please, if you've tested this out, actually tested it yourself for a little bit of time, please let us know in the comments, or please elaborate on my section here. But the mistake here is discarding your harder to find herbs that have 0 condition. So herbs that have 0 or low condition can still be used in alchemy. And in my testing with the chamomile decoction, using 0 condition sage and 0 chamomile still allows for you to create a medium/normal decoction. In fact, when I was recording for this clip for the video, I used 0 sage and chamomile, and I had a stronger potion come out of it. You can also dry 0 condition herbs, which will bring them up to 100 dried condition, and then you can sell them at the vendor for more groschen than if they were 0. Thank you all so much for watching. I have 4 or 5 other beginner's guide tip type videos in this same playlist on the channel. I also have